Hey there, Wondering Witches. Welcome to this overview of 25 Spooktacular Tarot and Oracle decks to break out for the Halloween season. I absolutely love Halloween. I have some adorably cute Halloween decorations displayed in the house year-round, and the decorations I have set up for this video are actually from my Halloween themed wedding. So, of course, I had to go hog wild, and I bought a bunch of these decks that fall somewhere on the Halloween spectrum. These decks range from the traditional witches and ghosts to the creepy and cute to the oddly dark to the horrifyingly disturbing. But I'll show those cards at the end of the video for those who don't frighten easily and dare to keep watching. I'll briefly thumb through each of these decks, and I'll point out which ones I've made a flip through video of and put the link in the description box below. So go ahead and kick up your brooms, stay for a spell, and enjoy these ghoulish delights. So we're starting off with the Halloween Tarot in a tin. So I received this deck from a friend for my birthday because they know that I like Halloween. It is on the smaller side. Some inserts in here. There's a little black and white guidebook, and here you can see it's got major arcana, minor arcana, minor arcana. So the suits are changed. The suit of pumpkins is typically pentacles. The suit of ghosts is the cups. Suit of bats replaces the element of air or swords. And the suit of imps, they replace the wands. So let's see here. There are a couple of spreads that are in the front, 3-card spread, Celtic cross. So here are the cards. I've used them so they're not in the order that they came. So here they are. I'm just gonna kind of rifle through it. And in terms of the use of these cards, it's pretty, tame, basic, old school Halloween look to it. I would say the imps, because they're red little devil looking things, they're easy to remember as the wands. The bats, if I see the 3 of bats, then I understand they're swords, but just in general, the bats don't really automatically make me think of swords. So I just kind of have to look every now and then. Well, if you see the Queen of Bats, who has a sword and a bat, the traditional meanings, the Rider-Waite meanings for these cards are really not necessarily depicted in these cards. I guess, to some degree they are when you have King of Imps. But I would say for some of them, you would really need to know the traditional meaning for it. So let's see here if there's any particular card that stands out to me. Well, 2 of Ghosts, that seems to be similar to the Two of Cups. The Four of Pumpkins, though, that doesn't really kind of convey the similar aspect of the Four of Pentacles in terms of the imagery of someone looking like blocked and kind of condensed and holding on to the pentacles. And then here, the Seven of Imps, it doesn't necessarily look like a, you know, standing your ground or having an upper hand or needing to kind of defend your position. So kind of take, you know, whatever you want from it. I would say in using these cards, I don't use them often. When I first got it, I probably had like only a few decks, so I did use it more often then. But it is kind of hard to wrap, no pun intended with the mummy here, wrap my head around what I'm seeing. Visually, it looks cool, but in terms of understanding it, you know, some cards like the Five of Imps, this is very similar to the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, but some of them are just kind of, you know, throw me off a bit, like the Hermit and this Mad Scientist card here. So here are the backs of the cards, so you can read reversals should you choose. And there is the Halloween Tarot. All right, we're starting off with the tame cards, if you haven't noticed. Here is Night Vision's Oracle. I do have this in a flip through. This is a kind of like a bat themed Oracle card. Here, or Oracle cards, here is just the short meanings and the black and white bat themed cute. This is really cute, the perspective card with the bat hanging upside down. But you can see in the flip through a little bit more about each of the cards. Here it's just basic black and white, one word on each card. So that is the Night Vision's Oracle deck. Here we have the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So here's a slide box. This really frustrates me in terms of picking up this box because how I have them lined up didn't work with how this is stacked. Here is the guidebook that comes with it. There's actually two versions of the Ten of Swords. I wasn't aware of that when I first used the deck, and I thought it was interesting because I had a spread and there was two versions of the Ten of Swords, and I was like, wait, what's happening here? So I decided to take this version of the Ten of Swords out of the deck and put it in the guidebook so I wouldn't forget. So here I am doing some, I'm reading a book on tarot, and it has exercises, and this just happens to be in order because I needed it for the games, the exercises for that particular book I'm reading. So here in the proper order, here is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and it's not necessarily have specific Halloween themes within it, other than it is a witch, kind of a witchy deck in terms of the title. And here, there's nothing really scary or spooky or creepy about the deck. It's just a witch theme deck, and witches and Halloween tend to go together, and then I will just quickly, because I think I passed it up, show you the other 10 of swords. Everything is fine with this person on their cell phone. Okay. And that is the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So here, this Pixiekins, a daily inspiration deck. They have all sorts of cute little creatures, witches, things along those lines. So you can see all the unique, odd, not odd. Some of them aren't super odd. I mean, this Chester here looks like a chubby cat, but unusual. So here's a little witch and her cats, little bat-looking things, owls. So you can see some of the outfits here, and this, I'm not sure what that is, that cute little creature. His name is Couscous, apparently. He's standing on some carved pumpkins. So it's kind of witch theme, mystical creature theme deck that has little sayings on here for inspiration, like Miss Moonfang says, create a unique style, own it. And Winnie Tangles in Zinfandel say believe in impossible things. So it's just little inspirations. There's Count Nibbles, let love sink its teeth into your heart. So these are cute little things to break out for Halloween. Oh, and this is the insert about the deck. And here, the artist, is it Paulina? Is it Paulina Cassidy? Yes. I have the, I think it's Joy to Vive tarot deck, and there's other ones by Paulina Cassidy that are similar, like mystical and this type of artwork. It's pretty cute. And that is the Pixiekins, a daily inspiration deck. Now we have Witchling Academy Tarot. I did a flip through of this deck. The cards just spill everywhere, so I just put it in a little rubber band here. And I'm just going to quickly thumb through this witch-themed deck. It's got really heavy Harry Potter type vibes with the main character going to this Witchling Academy and just the trials and tests that the witch has to go through. And this is like a magical manga artwork. And there's the storyline in the Witchling Academy handbook. It's really well thought out. And so the storyline in there is kind of, it's got a twist that you don't really know how that's going to go, but there's like a storyline with an evil witch. But like I said, there's a twist. So it's the Witchling Academy Tarot. If you want to see the more thorough unboxing flip through, that I have a separate video. So here we have Spellcasting Oracle cards. Again, this is pretty tame type of deck that is kind of, more for like, to go along with the witch theme, but there's not really anything spooky or scary. You've got the black cat for good luck, and so these would be good to use with the witch theme oracle deck. The guidebook has a little section about what the cards mean, and how you can use the card for spells to bring about these conditions on the cards, and kind of what to look out for in your life if you draw these cards. So this is Spellcasting Oracle cards. And here is Everyday Witch Tarot. I separately have an unboxing video for that. Here, I don't need to rubber band the cards because how the book inserts, it pretty much keeps it in the box. So again, another witch themed deck for the Halloween season. I do like this deck. It's pretty easy to apply the Rider-Waite-Smith interpretations to these cards. And they celebrate wine and cake. How could you not like that? And it's got all different kind of sceneries, I would say. I would, even though it's, I do like this deck, it's not super diverse. So that is the Everyday Witch Tarot. You want to see the more thorough close-ups, then there's the video of that I have for the flip through and unboxing. Here we have Moonology Oracle cards. So it kind of gives you the different phases of the moons, their meaning. It's heavily associated with the different zodiac signs. And again, not really scary, just moon and Halloween are very tied together, and so are, moon and witches. So if you have either of those types of spreads that you're using, then these would be good to bust out and use as well. The guidebook here, black and white guidebook, it is kind of confusing a little bit, where it'll be, if you're reading if you use these for a specific moon phase, and then say you're reading about new moon in Pisces, you're doing readings for that, and then you bust out full moon in Taurus or cardinal moon. It kind of throws you off as to, oh yeah, we're doing new moon in Pisces. I think that was the example I used. I'm not sure. See, I even forgot. So here is the Moonology Oracle cards. Now we get into Witch's Tarot. This is a really hefty guidebook. It's, you know, at least a page per card. Again, I don't need to rubber band these because the book keeps it in. You can see the back of the decks. And they're very traditional in terms of the, I don't know how, very traditional. They're more like just basically follow the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery on these. So it's not really, you know, particularly witchy. It's not scary. There's not like a lot of, I don't know if there's any cauldrons in here. There's the moon card, which is the box, what the image on the box. So it's very traditional. There's the Ten of Swords. I would say that's the most Halloween-esque card. So you can really use this, you know, even for other holidays, and no one would bat an eyelash. That was an intentional pun. Okay, so this is Witch's Tarot. I'll put this back here. And I do like this deck. It's just pretty pretty basic, and again, not diverse. Okay, so here is Tarot of Unknown Shadows. So I believe I got this deck off of Etsy, and has this like really tiny insert. I would say that the meanings really have different descriptions than you would expect. I mean, it's not common sense to look at the cards and understand the meaning. You'll see why soon enough. So here is the back of it. I would say when I first shuffled the deck, this like piece of the card backing came off, and there was a really, I think the smell has kind of gone away. There was a really like strange smell that I could only say was kind of peppery, but it didn't smell like black pepper per se. It was just, but it's kind of gone away. So, and they have a couple of unique cards: card of shadows, card of light, and here you would really need to know the traditional meanings to understand some things. Well, a lot of things. So here's the moon, the sun, like here's the Three of Swords. And you'd have to, I'll just give a little taste of what this three of Swords says. So it's three men in uniform with these really long swords. And let's see what it says real quick. Wound of a heart. Farewell to a comrade in arms who got through the dogs and the quicksand with you is a serious trial for a man who doesn't treat a notion of military bond as nothing but nice words. Even if a friend was demobilized, in good health, and is ready to go home, feeling of loss will stay in hearts of faithful companions for a long time, but time will cure any wounds. The main thing is to keep courage and strength of mind. So somewhat similar to traditional Three of Swords, but really not much. So here, Three of Wands, and looking at it, you really wouldn't know. Here's Two of Wands, so Seven of Wands. This is kind of for those, I was at the time wanting something a little darker than what I did have. And I saw this and I couldn't really see the images that well. Here's Seven of Swords, which are, you know, samurais. But when I got the deck, I felt like the cards were pretty, you know, well, the paper quality wasn't that great. But here, there's the Death card. If you're looking for something that is a little darker themed, this would be appropriate for Halloween season. I'm trying to see if there's, oh, the Magician. That's kind of, you know, it's I would say more odd than scary or spooky. It's kind of, you know, kind of an odd deck. There's the Four of Cups. What that says about having a cut and saucer head. Actually, let's look at the cup and saucer head. You know, I'm going through these pretty slowly if I read that, but you know, maybe some of you will like these decks. See something that I don't see. So the word is Four of Cups, satiety. It happens that there can be too much of good. Everything that not long ago was given happiness and bliss palled. I think it's paled. No, palled on so much that now only causes disgust. What is to be done in such situation? It's necessary to promptly change your basic attitude, stop to grumble and complain. It's better to find new interests and motivations to give your life a fresh coat of paint. So I think also the this deck, I want to say it came from, oh yeah, it's from Ukraine, and it uses the EU language English, but I think some of the phrasing might be off. The English phrasing might be off, so you'd have to know the traditional Rider-Waite meanings of the cards. And then even what's, you know, some of the cards depicted, the meaning is some, you know, a little bit different, it seems. So that was Tarot of Unknown Shadows. Here I have the Wandering Echo Major Arcana, only Major Arcana cards. There are 3 unique cards in this deck, and this is one of them. And here the images again they're not super gruesome. They're kind of odd. Black and white theme would go well for Halloween. And the guidebook is pretty thorough. There's the sacrifice is the hanged man traditionally, but you can see it's a heart on a noose. So it's kind of odd, but I do like this deck, especially because it's got the keywords in the guidebook, keywords for upright reverse, the astrological associations and considerations, how to use these cards in tarot tarot magic, and it also gives you journaling prompts. So if you want to use this for, you know, bringing about manifesting something particular or diving deep into a spiritual lesson, a life lesson, and this is a good deck, especially around Halloween. the Wandering Echo Major Arcana. I believe I have a more thorough flip through video of that one. And here is the Dark Mansion Tarot. I really love this deck. I believe this is from, is it Romania? Or is this also Ukraine? It is definitely one of those, either one of those countries, I believe. And it's got this silver, gold edges. I guess it looks silver after I've like used them and chipped the edges on it. Here's the back. There are, I believe, 2 different versions of the back of this. There's different size. This is kind of, I believe, the more oversized tarot deck, and it's not even oversized. It's a good size, but I'll just go through the cards here, and it's kind of like Victorian feel to it. If you've ever been to the to Disneyland, Disney World, there's Judgment card. The Haunted Mansion, it really has, if you were to live in a world, a cartoon world of the Haunted Mansion, then it would be something along the lines of this. And there's death. So it's got a little bit of, you know, creepy, sinister looking individuals. And then this 3 of Swords, you can see there's this braid and ribbon inside this locket, this heart locket. So and there's the Devil. The Hanged Man looks is kind of hanging upside down with the bat. Also has fangs, so some type of vampire. But it's not overly dark, and it is, you know, the kind of spooky that you like to see in Halloween with the tower. I do like this 7 of Swords, the, you know, the deceiver, the thief. And that is the Dark Mansion Tarot. So here, this is not an oracle deck per se. It can be used as a, you know, regular playing card deck if you want to play, you know, solitaire with this. It's 54 cards. I do have, it's got this little tiny tuck box. I do have an unboxing and flip through of it. This Lil Reaper deck here. The Lil Reaper itself is really cute. There's like a little Yoda Reaper. And there's not a guidebook that goes along with this. There's the Joker card, or one of the Jokers. And you can use this as an oracle deck and kind of put whatever, you know, meaning you want onto the images, because it's purely up to you. Like here's the 3 of diamonds. Diamonds are associated with the suit of pentacles, but you can see these little reapers are jamming out to it. So you can use it with the like minor arcana and court card of tarot meanings, or you can just look at the images and kind of figure out, you know, what you want to say about it. You know, 6 of Cups is about like childhood, early childhood memories, nostalgia, inner child. So maybe you could say that's like the inner child ghost of Lil Reaper, or it's something you know, it's ghost poop emoji, or even just loving something different. So that is the Lil Reaper deck here. Lil Reaper deck. So kind of cute for the Halloween season. And here we have Ghost Tarot. Did I do a flip through? Yes, I did a flip through of this. Here are just some of the insert cards and the guidebook in multiple languages. Here is like the Six of Pentacles, which is a sense of like balance, harmony, charity, you know, getting some sort of income. But you can see this gentleman is hugging this tombstone, and there's a couple kissing, where it's almost a sense of, you know, trying to hold on to something in that has died, is almost a sense of not really living in the present. And that's not how you traditionally would see that. So you can either apply the traditional meanings to it, or, you know, memorize the more the meanings in the guidebook that's provided, that's more specific to what's going on in this deck. So there's a skeleton. Here's Judgment. It is kind of hard to see the numbers and the suits at the bottom, but I read online that these are really good for love readings and dealing with shadow work. And there is the Six of Cups, where you see like the child giving flowers to the other child, sense of childhood, nostalgia. And I do like how the cards are outlined with this like mist. And here's the Nine of Cups here, with this soldier asking this ghost to dance. There's the moon. So it's not too grotesque. It is dark in terms of the colors, but I would say overall it's not a too dark in terms of theme. So that is Ghost Tarot. And it shuffles pretty well. Cardstock doesn't rip, or hasn't ripped for me yet. So here we have Disney Villains Tarot deck and guidebook. And you can see like the colors of purple and green, and the theme of witches here. This is definitely, you know, good for the Halloween season. The guidebook has color images of each card with the upright and reverse meanings. So if you wanted to kind of learn about this deck, you wouldn't necessarily need to look at each card along with the book, since it's in there. And here is the purple backing, where it's got kind of faded coloring on it, which is intentional, and different villains, Disney villains. There is the Five of Wands. There is Ursula, who's the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Emotional Manipulation. And I would say the minor Arcana images are kind of pippish, but sometimes they'll throw in something like this, which is the six of Wands, but you would need to know the traditional version, or sorry, the Rider-Waite meaning of these cards, because here there's not anyone else around this individual to know based on the images what it would mean. So there's the Star, there's Justice, there's Three of Swords. That is definitely more of the traditional. And I'm not necessarily sure if the like here is the eight of coins, and here are the hyenas from the Lion King. I'm surprised it's on the 8 of coins. I'd expect it just on the, like, you know, the 3 of coins, since there's the 3 hyenas. But maybe because they do work for Scar, and Scar here, the 8 of swords, but there's people actually surrounding Scar in the traditional meaning. 8 of swords, there's like no one else depicted around Scar. So it's not really quite in line with the traditional meanings. So as long as you know the traditional meanings, you really wouldn't need the guidebook. And there is the Queen of Wands. All right, so that was the Villains Tarot deck. Here I'm having to push things further and further down. Okay, here we have Spoopy Tarot. Again, the same kind of slide box as Modern Witch Tarot deck. I think it might even be from the same publisher. So I do have an unboxing video and flip through of this. If you want to see things more clearly, here's the guidebook. There's no pictures on the minor arcana, just mini versions of the major arcana in the guidebook. There's the back of it with the skulls and the candy. Here is the Page of Wands, which is a candy apple. I don't know how you would really know what the meaning is. Here's the Tower. When I first went through this, I thought it was Frankenstein. Turns out this is a mummy. No, not a mummy, a zombie. It's a zombie. But you would really need to know the traditional meanings of the cards to truly understand what's going on here. So here, the High Priestess is just like a random monster. And this World card, apparently that's supposed to be a psychopomp. The Chariot is supposed to be a solar eclipse. There's Haunted House instead of the Lovers. So I do like the size of these. There's the Devil, which I think is a candy corn. And here in this deck, bones are the swords. Eyeballs, I believe, are the pentacles. Oh, and the Hermit is supposed to be a werewolf. I don't know how you're supposed to tell that's a werewolf. So eyes are pentacles. These lollipops are the wands. And the cups, that's a knight. Knight of Cup is cute. And for whatever reason, that's supposed to be the Ace of Swords. I don't know how you would know that. And the Strength card is a kitty, even though it looks like it could be a werewolf. And the full moon is also the sun, replaces the sun card. But here's the 10 of Cups, which are potions. So here is a very cute, kind of kid-friendly deck for Halloween, Spoopy Tarot. And here I have the Supernatural Join the Hunt Tarot deck and guidebook. I do have a flip through video of this. So here again, the person who wrote, I think Minerva Siegel, the one who writes the meanings in the tarot guidebook, same person who did the Disney villains. So here is the back of the Supernatural cards. If you're a fan of the show, you absolutely know why it would be appropriate for Halloween. And if you haven't watched the show, this is about brothers who haunt monsters. And no one really knows what they do. They do it behind the scenes because they deal with the scary things and allow everyone else to be blissfully ignorant of the monsters, demons, Leviathan, shapeshifters, jinns, and ghosts that plague the world. And so again, they have, instead of pentacles or pentagrams, bones are the, I think bones in this one are the wands. So goblets are cups, and the swords are daggers. Like there's the three of hearts. Not three of hearts, three of swords. So actually, I don't know why I'm putting them. I tend to like the back face up. Guess I just been in a rush shoving these in there. All right, so that's the Supernatural Tarot deck. Here is the Monstarot Tarot deck. I do have a flip through of these. I flipped through the video. Here's the guidebook. There's no images within the guidebook, but here you can see these monsters, these adorably cute monsters. It's not really scary. I wouldn't really call it creepy, you know, oddly cute, creepy and cute, quirky and cute. And in terms of, there's a special card, the Luminary. In terms of the meanings, I think you could, well, maybe, I don't know if you would understand what that Strength card is. Actually, I don't know if they are pretty similar to the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith cards, although I'm not sure because they all have, I guess this is the blended family, but only the two little insects in the back look similar. So I'm not sure if you would just know by looking at these cards without knowing the traditional meaning. So there's definitely a particular feel that the artist Joanna Nelson has. I've seen her do cards for like other decks, collaboration decks, and definitely there's this style of, and I also have Cosmo Being tarot decks by Joanna Nelson as well, but this type of drawing is I guess the artwork that she tends to do. So that is the Monstarot tarot deck. If I can get this in here. Okay, so now we're getting, I guess, slightly into the creepier, oddly creepy area. So here is Teeny Tiny Tarot by Holly Audley. I have the mini Divi that came along with this, and I'll go through that as well. I have the a video and flip through of both of these if you want to see it more slowly. Some like thank yous for backing on Kickstarter, and there are, you can see here, the brooms are wands, the eyeballs are pentacles, and these needles here, like this is the 10 of swords or 10 of needles. Needles are the needles are the swords, and these skull cups are the cups. The skulls are the cups. So again, you would need to know the traditional Rider-Waite meanings because there is no guidebook for these. So if you have problems with seeing eyeballs up front and needles in skin, poking through skin, then, you know, that's why I save these for a little bit later. But Holly Audley does crochet work, so is really into the threads and needles. And there are 5 more decks coming out of, like, I think it's dreams. Man, I forgot. I think they're dreams. Odds, like contradictions, maybe. I totally forgot. But I'm getting 5 more decks that are similar to this ghost theme mini Divi deck, but that is Teeny Tiny Tarot. And here I'll do the mini Divi one. So the mini Divi and the Teeny Tiny Tarot are in the same unboxing, or not unboxing video, the same flip through. And this is the ghost themed Oracle deck. So I think there's one, the new one is messages. I even watched a couple of those videos. So here's Soaked Ghost that looks like Chick from the Ring. But these are, yeah, kind of simple, ghostly, spooky things. And Victorian Ghost, and this is just about the creator. And there is the back of the mini Divi. To show you the back of there's the back of the Teeny Tiny Tarot. So these are, if you are maybe going to a Halloween party, they're small enough to kind of take with you, and cute, not too spooky, though maybe a little odd, and uncomfortable. Okay, here is the Wandering Soul Oracle. I did an unboxing and flip through of this. It's black and white. And here there's just nothing too gruesome or bad, but let's say this vulnerable heart, odd. But other than that, it's pretty basic. And these, the rib cage, maybe it's a little, I don't think this is too dark, but if you're looking for like light and fluffy, this is really not light and fluffy. There's bandages, but nothing too bad. Skull, lungs, and just a small black and white guidebook, no pictures in it for the meanings. And if you want to take a look at that, there's a separate unboxing and flip through of the Wandering Soul Oracle. So here, this is Adorabyssal Oracle. And this I think is really cute. It's a second edition. I got this off Etsy. Here's the little guidebook of these different types of kind of creatures, mythical creatures. There's elements on each of them. There's a brief little outline of what they are. So here, if you're interested in, what are they? Cryptids, and I forgot the three different, I think there's 3 different breakdowns of it, but if you like folklore, mythology, then you can research what these creatures are all about. But here some of them are kind of just basic. Here's bat, phoenix, but I'd say the meanings of it can be a little uncomfortable. Like this constrained one, this is Rusalka. Basically, this long red hair just, grabs men and drowns them in the river. And then here in this, let's see, this Dullahan, inevitability, is headless horseman, and basically it's just this horse and carriage that rides through the town, and wherever it stops, it'll kill the person who lives in that house. But there's also light meanings on them as well. So Adorabyssal Oracle. Now we're going to take a look at the Halloween Oracle. Here you can see the back is bats, ghosts, brooms, cats, jack-o'-lanterns. There is this guidebook that has a black and white version miniature of the card in there. A little information about Halloween, and even the correct pronunciation for the word that I always thought was Samhain, but it's Samhain or Samhain, depending on what you listen to. And here are the different cards. You got skulls, spiders, werewolf, zombie, trick or treat. And if you want, you obviously you can do whatever you want, but the card meanings are pretty particular to the picture. Some of these, they have the name of the card and then like a word or a phrase to indicate what it's about. But to get the full grasp of it, reading the guidebook is helpful, and plus it gives some background about certain traditions, where certain practices originated, things along those lines. So that is the Halloween Oracle. Not too dark, but pretty much filled with a lot of bones, skulls, and not gruesome or anything. And that is the Halloween Oracle. Now we have Deviant Moon Tarot. This is the borderless edition. There's different editions of this deck. I love, no, love is not the right word. I tend to spend a lot of free time watching ghost shows. And so when I read about this deck, apparently the person, Patrick Valenza, who created this deck, used pictures of like tombstones, graveyards, things like that, and kind of somehow manipulated the images to be, you know, the clothing and things that you see in these decks. So here it's a little bit, you know, darker. It's got the eyeballs, it's got creepy things, kind of looks surreal. And some of the meanings that they have in the guidebook are pretty intense. And I would say not for those that are easily disturbed by visual images that are uncomfortable. But there's the Three of Swords, Nine of Wands, Chariot. Pretty much goes along the traditional Rider-Waite meanings of the cards, but there's some that are a little off. Like here is like Six of Pentacles. Not off, I would say have a specific meaning. Here it's like basically this ghoul or some dead person that they're giving this token to. And here the Five of Cups is supposed to be these people are married, and basically this person like berating this person is, and it indicates like an unhappy relationship. The Hermit, it's kind of like images that are just kind of shocking to look at, especially this 10 of Swords. And let's see here, I'm in particular looking for the Death card. There's the 10 of Cups, because the Death card was, I would say, truly disturbing in terms of the meaning of it. There's the Star. So definitely darker. So here's the Death card, and basically, you know, it's a sense of this is the child of death, who death is stomping on its head, preventing it from crawling back up into the womb, because death already has, and you know, the womb's already occupied by the next baby death. And so it's just like stomping on this baby death's head to prevent it from crawling up into the womb again. And that's kind of like indicating, you know, loss, death, rebirth. But, you know, may be appropriate, but it's a little, you know, some people who maybe are parents or have a soft spot for children might not really appreciate that type of thing. So, and there is the Queen of Wands to end off Deviant Moon Tarot. But I don't, even though people might have different opinions of this deck, you know, I think I've read it's good for shadow work, working on aspects of yourself. But yeah, whatever you think about this Deviant Moon Tarot, I'd say it's appropriate for Halloween. So here is the last deck, Southern Gothic Oracle. The reason why this one is last is because it has a special expansion packet of haunts that has some image and themes that are a little bit also uncomfortable. So here is just a black and white descriptions only guidebook. I backed this on Kickstarter. Here's the back of the deck. It's got this rose petal finish. I have an unboxing and flip through of the Southern Botanic Oracle by the same creator of these ones. So here you can see it's got the name of the card or what the image is in a couple of works, like it says Black Coffee, Shadow Work, Awakening. And these are pretty, you know, tame. That's the blessed child, purity, lost innocence. So here again, you know, children passing away. But this is the more tame version of it. So here's just basic kind of Gothic themes from the South. And not too bad, not too horrible. They do kind of talk about voodoo practices or, you know, folklore tradition of the South where they originate, you know, different groups of people, different folklore. And so that's interesting. So that is the main deck, and here's the expansion pack. The expansion pack has an online PDF, and there's like the barcode for it for the Haunts expansion pack. So there's only 9 cards in there. So there's Mothman, Candlelight Spirit. This is about you know, a slave child who was, you know, died, maybe fell into a well, something along those lines. So again, kind of triggering, is that the right word? Hellhound, Bride of Annandale, Boo Hag. So these aren't all of them bad, but here are those crimes of passion, jealousy, dangerous urges. The story about, you can see this is like a headless person in a dress, and the story behind this was this this woman was, you know, pregnant and killed by her lover, beheaded by her lover because he didn't want to be a father. So that's pretty dark, pretty gruesome, but definitely, you know, appropriate for Halloween, if that's appropriate is the right word for it. So that is the Haunts expansion pack for Southern Gothic Oracle. And that is what I have for you. So if you have any comments or questions about the decks that I've gone over, if you've had any readings with them and feel that they're good, not good, please let me know. and I am aware of a bunch more Halloween decks existing out there. I've been eyeing a few of them. If you have recommendations for the must-have Halloween themed, spooky themed Gothic tarot decks, oracle decks, I would absolutely love to hear about it. So I am hoping you have a magical Halloween season and happy haunting.